See, all the way through, right, Dominic Cummings has always been canny. He's always like got people like under his wing, like looking after him. And there was this one particular bloke at school, right? He was like the chubby lad, he lived up on a farm and he was like dead posh and that. And he had like not many friends. And he would always be going laughing and saying rah, rah and all that. And he had like stupid blonde hair and everyone called him Bonzo because he looked like a dog, And he used to come down and nobody really liked him. But Dom, he befriended him and like took him under his wing, and protected him. And he said that, he was a canny lad and we should all go to his party and everything like that. And he liked hanging out with posh boys, did Dom, because like he could manipulate them and get things out of him what he wanted, And so there was sometimes that Dom would be able to like get a lift in his dad's Land Rover and stuff like that and go to parties. And he'd like be from friends with this guy, and he was not a nice lad. He was harmless, but he was just a bit thick. He was like a farmer's lad and he had like loads of meat. He was always eating meat. And one day, it was announced, like in assembly that Bonzo had like become head boy and everyone was going, well, how did that happen? How did that happen? And apparently like Dom had like had words and stuff and had arranged it so he would become head boy and Dom would support him. And it was all a load of lies because this Bonzo said he was going to open the tuck shop, like on a Wednesday when we got to sports field. Bonzo said he'd open the tuck shop in the afternoon, like so we could get some spice like before we go up to play sports. But it never happened. And Dom goes, well, it's his fault now, he said he was going to do it, but he didn't. And Bonzo was like flapping around, with his red face. He had very red face because he had a lot of meat. And he was a big lad. And he was like fucking useless, But he was like head boy and everyone couldn't understand it. And Dom would like just sort of sit back and always go, well, you better go and ask Bonzo because that's his job, like being head boy. And that was the thing about him. Dominic Cummings, Dom was his name because he was domineering. He was dominant. And most of all, he was a dominatrix because he liked causing pain and inflicting it and seeing people suffer. And I think that's what's happening now, because in reality, Dominic Cummings is a fucking dominatrix and a wanker.